In today's video, we are going to talk about the dollar versus the Canadian dollar and a massive breakout that occurred over the past couple of weeks. I'll share my targets for this market, as well as some key levels I'm watching, including where I'm looking to buy over the coming days. Okay, so looking here at the dollar CAD, you can clearly see that on the weekly time frame, we had a significant breakout right back here. So this up here is the COVID high. So March 2020, that was the high from COVID. And you can see where we've got this high right through here. All right, so this high, this one, and I have two levels drawn here because you could technically draw it off of this high right here, or include it a little bit higher off of the very top of this wick, in which case it comes in a little bit higher. But either way, you can see that the dollar CAD here has clearly broken out over the past couple of weeks. Okay, so if you guys have seen recent videos, you will know that this is something I've watched now ever since the market was coming off of this area right down here. All right, so this trend line, I talked about this in a video. In fact, I was targeting this area up here long term when the market was trading down here in this area. And we even talked about the fake out that we got below these lows. All right, so we got the fake out, the move below, consolidation down here, close back above. That was the trigger for the next leg higher for the dollar CAD. Okay, so we've talked about all of this over the past few months, and now we finally have that significant breakout. Now, with that said, though, you've got to be a little bit careful for a couple of reasons. First of all, you can see that this level, going back here to the consolidation, all right, so from back here in 2020, you can see that if we go to the daily time frame, it really shows this level that is currently serving as resistance. All right, so this was the COVID high right up here, right? That's the start of our trend line. And you can see where we had this consolidation between these two levels back here in 2020. Now, this obviously broke down, right? And this was a beautiful descending triangle with lower highs into support, right? Which eventually led to the breakdown as we'd expect. Now, this level at 1.386, okay, this is currently serving as resistance for this market. Okay, so if we go back to the current price action, what you'll notice here on the daily time frame is we've also got this high up here, this one, and Fridays, okay? Now, it's not perfect, right? You could draw the level a little bit higher if you want to, but this is the general area up here, right, that I'm watching as resistance right now. So this, in my opinion, is not the time to long the dollar CAD, all right? You want to long it down here on this trendline retest or somewhere through here during this breakout. But right now, with the market coming into resistance, this is not a great time to be buying this market, in my opinion. And furthermore, the other reason you've got to be careful here is because we do have a very volatile week coming up. Today and tomorrow are the last two trading days of October, which you guys may know is, kind of an erratic time in the market. You get a lot of big moves, a lot of volatility that is not necessarily conviction driven. It's more administrative driven because you get a lot of institutions closing out their books to end the month. So you've got to be careful here over the next, 24 hours. And also we have FOMC on Wednesday and NFP on Friday. So a lot of event risk coming up for this market, for all these markets. So you've got to be careful, going into this week. Now, let's take a look at the DXY, and then we'll circle back to this, and I'll show you where I'm looking to potentially long this market over the coming days. And if you guys are enjoying this content, be sure to smash the like button and also subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for notifications. And also, guys, last 2 days of 50% off lifetime access to our VIP group in Discord. So you're going to get lifetime access to daily member videos on 5 to 10 markets. You're going to get exclusive setups on, crypto, Forex, stocks, and you're also going to be able to see my trades in real time, including entry, take profit, and also stop loss. All right, so see the link at the top of this video, guys. Again, last 2 days to get in for 50% off. Okay, so looking here at the DXY, the US dollar index, this is something that we've talked about for a long time, right? 105.60. This is the must-hold level for bulls. As long as the dollar is above this, then I am bullish on the dollar, technically speaking, right? Because it's above this area. We've got the uptrend that's still intact. We have sideways consolidation up here. So as long as 105.60 is intact as support, then I'm going to remain bullish. Now, if you guys saw the video that I put out on Saturday, what I said in that video was that the euro, the euro USD could have unfinished business up at 1.06, just above that mark. And so far we are seeing, I'm looking at the charts right now, 1.0617 for the euro. And what I said for the DXY was this area right down here. Okay, so this green candle that you see here on the daily, this big green candle, this area right here represented a lot of liquidity that had built up. All right, so following this rally, what happens is following a rally like this, right, you get buyers coming in, and then we had no retrace. Okay, the very next candle had a very shallow retrace of this big green candle. So what happens is when you get a candle like this that's left behind, right, the same thing happened over here. And you'll notice that we got the fill through here, and then of course, complete fill over here, right? And you can see this over and over again. Big green candle up here, right? Complete fill. Even back here, look at this big green candle during the rally, right? The market found support here at previous resistance. We had the wick below to fill, pretty much that entire candle, right? Because again, this down here was liquidity, and the same thing is occurring right now, right here at today's low. Now, keep in mind though, that we have FOMC coming up. We've also got NFP, and it's the last 2 trading days of October. So is this the low for the dollar? It's really tough to say. And given what we're seeing here today, I would say it's probably not. Considering the volatility that's coming up here, I would not be at all surprised to see the market close somewhere in this area today, maybe move up here to kind of fill in this red candle. Because again, liquidity up here, right? Tap that liquidity, come down here, fill in more of this green candle down here into this area. All right, something like that would make a lot of sense here from a liquidity standpoint. But the point here is with the DXY, right, is that as long as it's above 105.60, I am bullish on this technically speaking. And I do think that over the coming weeks, and months, we could see the move up toward 109 to 110. And it all comes back to liquidity once again. If we go back here to the late 2022 price action, right, you can see this big red candle, a very shallow retracement. Okay, look at this daily candle right here, right? This massive daily candle, we got a very small retracement of that. So there's a lot of liquidity up here at 109 to 110, right? So I do think that over the coming weeks, that's where we're likely to see the dollar going. That's what I've said now for months. In fact, I was saying it all the way, when the market was down here in this area, even on this fake out. Once we got this fake out, that was my long-term target, and it remains as such. Okay, so, look, I'm bullish on the dollar right now. We could see, a little bit lower to kind of fill in this candle over here with this volatility coming up. But as long as we're above 105.60, I am bullish, especially if the market can get above these recent highs up around 107.20. All right, so let's go ahead and circle back to the dollar CAD and wrap this up. So looking at the dollar CAD, we know that this area down here, okay, is going to be support, right? And this area is going to be resistance. It's currently serving as resistance. So I don't want to buy the dollar CAD up here in this area because I know that this is an incredibly strong resistance area. And I always look to, buy low, sell high, right? Very obvious, but it's amazing how many traders don't do that. So looking now at this market, what I'm watching for is this area right back here. Okay, these two highs, you can see, correspond with this big green candle where we got a very shallow retracement. Now, you can make the argument that we saw the same thing here, right? So liquidity down here, more liquidity through this area. But in order to get a retrace all the way down here, you're talking about essentially erasing last week's gain. Okay, now that could happen, right? But I think that what's more likely is that we come into this area down here, right? This big green candle before we get some type of bounce from there back toward resistance. So this is what I'm going to be watching. Now, furthermore, okay, if we look here at the weekly, right, and take our fibs, all right, so from the low down here up here to the high, right, so plot that out. Then if we take the daily and go here to the candle in focus, right, this one right here, what you're going to notice is that we do have fib confluence because we've got the 50% of the weekly, okay, lining up with the 50% of this green candle. Okay, so the 50% is right here, 50% for the weekly is over here. And they both line up right there around 1.377. Now, you can also see where we do have the same confluence down here at levels like this. So we could see a little bit deeper, retracement, especially with, again, FOMC and NFP coming up later this week. Okay, so if we get rid of all this here and just kind of wrap up in terms of where I'm looking to potentially buy this market, we can say that this area right back here, okay, these wicks, this, in my opinion, is where the liquidity is right now for this market. And once again, we know that markets seek liquidity and that these often act as magnets for the price. They can also act as reversal points. Okay, so we know that there's some more down here with this candle as well. Okay, but I think, like I said, I think that this one up here is kind of the more likely candidate for the dollar CAD to find support here and head back to resistance. If we were to see a move all the way down here, I'd be a little bit more hesitant because, again, the market would be erasing an entire week's gain following that breakout. All right, guys, so that's it for today's video. Once again, just kind of wrap up, looking for a buy, potentially like around like 1.375 all the way up to about 1.378. This is kind of the zone I'm watching, followed by this one down here, closer to 1.37. All right, so that's it for today's video, guys. I hope it helped. Be sure to smash the like button and also subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon for notifications. And don't forget too, guys, join us in VIP last 2 days to get 50% off. See the link in the description of this video. Trade well this week, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.